It's the Infectious Groove Podcast, recorded from Detroit, Michigan, and Jacksonville, Florida. The Infectious Groove Podcast is your source for jammy jams, album reviews, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us, and now, here are your hosts.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the Infectious Groove Podcast. My name is Russ. Along with me, as always, is Kyle and Michelle. How are y'all doing?
Oh, you know.
Good. Still past Michelle's bedtime, but earlier to record than last week, so, you know.
It is. It is. Don't worry, I'm in bed, though.
Oh, good. Wow. I think that you just created a new Patreon level for us. I'm not.
Show me the money.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but you know what? We can take that offline, and you can let us know what that includes, what that new tier includes.
I'm on OnlyFans.
Right. Oh, Lord. Michelle, speaking of Michelle in bed, when you dream, do you dream about what we talked about last week?
I don't.
and is it because you don't remember?
We talked about a record I didn't like.
Okay, you're going to need to narrow that down.
We talked about Kissland.
We did, by the weekend. And
Is that a way to say his name?
Every single time I say his name out loud, I say the weekend. Anyways, yes, we did. We reviewed it, and it was also our big grand return and our
Season 5.
Season 6 premiere, of course. Thank you, Michelle, for knowing that. And as always, we have some feedback to share, so we've got some for you to get into right now.
Feedback, John. Don't worry about that. Right. Where's rock and roll be without feedback?
First piece of feedback we got was from Aaron from the I Had to Say It podcast, who said they're back from break, and I'm still not sure that it wasn't Michelle's fault. Another great discussion from the IGP crew, because as I told you, Michelle, I continually try and tell people that it wasn't your fault we were on break, and no one believes me.
Well, I did suggest it.
The break? Yeah. Okay, I was trying to help you.
I want the credit.
Right. The credit is worth being in trouble. What's funny is later in the day, I ended up helping promote the I Had to Say It podcast, and Aaron replied to that tweet and said, I greatly appreciate the support. Thank you. Also, I wanted to say it was a great episode today. I thoroughly enjoyed having my Monday routine restored, but it's still Michelle's fault.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Listener Justin says, I just had a flash of memories during your Jammy Jams because I was introduced to Weird Al and the Even Worse record 30 years ago, which defined my childhood, and I still know all of his albums from 1983 to 1995 by heart. Anthony Taylor's version says to us, it's so cool to have you guys back from break. At this moment, the only songs from the weekend I like are I Can't Feel My Face and Blinding Lights. But after hearing Kyle stress his love for the Trilogy album, I'm going to go check that one out. And the album featured on your episode, your review episode. So from back when we did the album tournament and the Trilogy.
Yeah, a million years ago?
Yes, that's when it was, Michelle. So how can you remember that was 1 million years ago, but you can't remember that we're on season 6?
Because it's not season 6.
Right. Okay. And good news, everyone. I get to say the words I haven't said in a very long time. We have a voicemail from Seth.
Oh my God. I thought he didn't like us anymore.
No, Seth very much likes us, and here we go.
Well, hello, Infectious Group Podcast. And first of all, welcome back from your hiatus. I'm really excited for season 6, Michelle.
Yeah. Do you like that, Michelle? That Seth knows it's season 6?
Did you set that up for me or what?
I did not. And Seth goes on to say,
well, hello, Infectious Group
sorry,
Podcast.
I started over.
And first of all, welcome back from your hiatus. I'm really excited for season 6, Michelle. So I wanted to call you the voicemail. I thought that would be an exciting way to welcome you all back. I really enjoyed this podcast, the review for this album picked by Kyle. The Weeknd is one of those bands where, or one of those, I guess I should say artists, because it's kind of about this one person, but he is someone that, like, I wish I liked them more. Like, I don't dislike them. It's just, like, something about it doesn't hit for me. You know, I like some of the singles. Whenever I've seen live performances of The Weeknd, I've been really impressed, and I'm like, damn, this, guy is fucking talented. Well, except for the Super Bowl. I had a seizure when I watched that one. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess maybe my question is, do you have any subject or any like tips on how to like get into The Weeknd, or am I just hopeless? Because nothing negative. It's just something that I have a hard time getting into because it's like on the verge of like Michael Jackson influences, which I like his music, but it's not quite the same. It's like a little bit more R&B or something. I don't know. Anyways, sorry for rambling, but just wanting some advice because I do respect the Weeknd and would like to enjoy his music more. Anyways, have a good week, and I look forward to whatever your topic may be next week. Bye-bye.
Kyle, I'm going to assume that you're going to send Seth directly to the trilogy, but
yep, the trilogy in order.
Okay, Now, I can't remember from when if you look up Weekend Trilogy on Spotify, it just comes up with it in the order it's supposed to be, right? I think.
Sure, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question.
Why is there no E in it? I don't know.
I don't know why there's no E, but can we do an advice section? Like Seth called for our advice. Like, can we get people to ask our advice? I would love nothing more than to give advice.
You do a lot of do as I say and not as I do, so that doesn't surprise me that you would want to give out advice.
For sure.
Plus, by the way, I should mention then, to me, our Jamie Jams segment is more or less us giving unasked for advice. Like, no one asked us, sure. And it's just us being like, here's what you should listen to, because we were.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, by all means, we could start a hashtag Ask Michelle.
Well, Seth asked, I guess he asked Kyle that question. It could be Ask any of us.
Oh, I feel like Ask Michelle has a lot more entertainment value in it.
Hashtag Michelle is great. Hashtag Ask Michelle.
There was a Michelle is great and Michelle is awesome hashtag war again today, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who won?
We called it a draw.
Fine.
Anyways, go ahead, Kyle.
To round out what...
Yeah, Kyle, please go back to what you were talking about before Michelle interrupted you with her...
if it is not in order, if the trilogy is not in order, you want to start with House of Balloons, then you want to go to Thursday, and then you want to round it out with Echoes of Silence.
Right on. Now, did you ask Michelle for advice on how to tell someone to listen to that record, or did you just do that on your own?
I did it all by myself.
Wow.
He texted me from the basement.
Yeah.
Seth, you can also start with, not start with, but look at My Dear Melancholy. It's an EP that he put out in 2018, and it's very much in line with his older stuff.
Right on. So, Seth, listen to at least the trilogy and then that EP as well. Report back to us. And then if you need any life advice, you can ask any one of us. But I would tell you, your best source of advice is going to be from Michelle. That's
I'm killing it over here.
I say this phrase so often on this show, but moving right along. Our jammies. For me this week,
why do you never start with me?
Because, first of all, you never know your jammy jams. And
usually it's a podcast.
Yeah, and it's usually a podcast, or someone told you to read a book and you didn't. Somewhere along those lines. So
I'm very aggressive today. I don't.
Yeah, what
happened.
is? Do you need a nap?
I don't.
Kyle,
Kyle,
does she need an NAP?
Yeah, she does.
I've been very squirrely.
You know, last week you opened up by telling us that you were having a rough time.
I did?
Yeah. You sure did.
Well, it's continued.
The rough time is still going.
Right. Michelle, would you like me to start with you for the Jammy Jams?
No.
Okay. Because I can. Wait, is that your advice to me? Is to start with you for Jammy Jams going forward?
I just wanted to know why it was always the same order. But
well, this is episode 29 or something like that, and it's always been me, then Kyle, then you. But if you would like to change it, we can do that.
I mean, it's only my birthday weekend, but it's fine.
My Jammy Jams this week.
You know this comes out on my birthday?
This does come out on your birthday, yes. So we're going to have one heck of a train wreck for your birthday. If the rest of the episode goes any way like it's starting.
Okay, go on.
I swear to God, what I was going to say originally was my Jammy Jams are very simple this week, but then it turned into a whole thing. For me this week, it has been all Ozzy. I got on a huge Ozzy kick, and I think it was derivative of guitar. Like, I've just been listening to a lot of guitar-driven rock lately, and then one thing led to another, and I found myself listening to he's had more guitar players, but his three prominent guitar players were Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee, and Zakk Wylde, and I kind of found myself circling around everything the three of them played. Like for Randy, Crazy Train and I Don't Know are two huge ones. And then for Jakey Lee, Shot in the Dark and Bark at the Moon were big ones. And then for Zach, it's like No More Tears, I Don't Want to Change the World, Mama, I'm Coming Home. So I just kind of cycled through his three major guitar players. And again, I am very aware he's had other guitar players, but those were the three I was focused on this week. So a whole lot of John Ozzy Osbourne for me this week. Michelle, we'll go to you instead of Kyle next. What are your jammy jams?
I only have one.
You're fucking fired.
Jesus living Christ. Michelle, please enlighten us. What is your awesome one and only jammy jam?
It's all of Purple Rain.
Oh, the entire... Wait.
Except for Computer Blue.
God damn it, so close. Why did this come about? Why have you found yourself listening to Purple Rain?
Why do you think?
I don't know.
Didn't it come out in 1984?
Oh, yes.
I was literally second guessing my entire life just then. My entire week just flashed before my eyes, and I was like, did I?
The one time Michelle's on topic for something.
Yeah,
I have no idea why.
How was I supposed to know?
Well, I was struggling to figure out, and I won't spoil anything, which one my favorite was. And then the entire record kept coming up and like just in my plays or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Just front to back then. Over and over.
And I promise I'm not doing a bit here. Did you warm up any more to Computer Blue? Because it confounds me how you don't like that song.
No.
Damn it.
I know.
Damn it. Okay.
I hate it less, but I don't. It's not like it's not any more of a stinker or any less of a stinker, I should say.
So you're going to put 8 of the 9 tracks of Purple Rain on the playlist?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll pick my favorites, but it spoiler, it will not be Computer Blue, no matter how hard you try.
That's so. You don't have to. I'm not the person who created it. I'm just the person who appreciates it.
You seem to be really bummed by it.
Yeah, because it's a fantastic song.
Oh.
So it's,
We'll
upsetting.
take this offline.
Yeah, we definitely should. Kyle, you got skipped over there because Michelle had such a massive amount of jammy jams to share with us. So I
had 8, right?
Yeah. Yes, you will count it for 8. Kyle, what were your jammy jams this last week?
It's pretty much been all Jack Harlow.
Oh, right on. Did he put something new out?
He released a new record called "Come Home, the Kids Miss You," and yeah, it is. If you enjoy, actually, you know what? It's different. I think it's different than the older stuff that he's put out. So if you want to hear something similar but more advanced in his career, right, I'd give it a listen.
When you say advanced, do you mean he got better at his rhyme schemes, or the production is more advanced, or both?
Both. He's just it's his. I think it's his sophomore record. It definitely shows that he has gotten his shit together, I think.
Right
on. You
on.
like it better than the first one?
No.
Want me to ask you again later?
I don't like one more than the other. They're different.
Okay.
The other one is very much like, he's got something to prove and, whatever. But this one is more like I've proven myself now. Now here's what I have to offer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right on.
All right. Well, that was our jammy jams. And again, I apologize to everybody for Michelle going on at length about so many different jammy jams and everything. But you know how it is. She just gets going.
I just can't be stopped.
And she just can't be stopped. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to do a very difficult topic, which has been requested of us by listeners for quite some time. We are going to do 1991 versus 1984 and pick each one of us the year we think is better of the two. You are listening to the Infectious Group Podcast on the Odd Pods Media Network.
Hey, I'm Lauren.
And I'm John.
And we host the Beard Owl Podcast, the podcast where we talk about 2 of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al.
And a lot of other things. We're funny.
Yeah, that's basically what I told him to say. Good job with your script.
Listened.
Yay! But no, seriously, we try and pair a beer with a Weird Al song and talk about both things and go where the conversation takes us. It's fun, I promise. You'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you like talking about random things as well as, fine craft beers and some wonderful craft music.
Hey, I'm Pantsless Aaron.
This is Stevie.
And I'm Augie.
And we are BFYTW, a podcast all about playing games and having fun. Our games are usually based on British panel shows and game shows, but we'll play anything that captures our attention and imagination. Why? It's right there in the title.
You'll never guess what the F stands for.
We are back. It's Russ, Kyle, and Michelle, the Infectious Groove podcast. And if you are new to the show and you are wondering why we are doing one episode to cover 1991 and 1984, then you should definitely go back and listen to a series of episodes we did on both of these years, because they were actually some of the most popular episodes we've ever done of this program, and they were all listener requested episodes. 1984 and 1991 were such huge years in music that both times we set out to cover those years, we ended up having them be 2 parts apiece. And I'm going to go so far as to say, Michelle, you probably even remembered from one part to the next that we were still discussing the other year. Am I allowed to go that far?
Well, there was one of them we did them twice in one day. So yeah, I would hope.
Yeah, yeah. So
but, the other one, I do think that happened. I do remember.
Yeah, I'm confident in saying that. So when we went over this earlier today, I put out on Twitter, and I rarely do this, but sometimes I will ask for some feedback regarding like the topic we're about to cover. So out on Twitter today, I just said, I put it out randomly. Hey, what was your favorite albums of 1984, 1991, either year or both? And we got a ton of replies, but I'm going to read a lot of these because it shows a lot of the diversity that was out there and what albums are favorites for some folks and not others. And then after that, I'm going to go over the actual records that sold, the top 10 selling records for both years. And then we will get into the actual discussion. And God be willing, we're going to make a decision on this for which year is each of our personal favorites. Because man, is this a hard decision to make.
So is this majority rules?
No, this is each of us making our personal call. This isn't like the official Infectious Groove,
Oh, like, that's why I came here, because I was prepared.
Opinion, man.
Why were you going to wait for me and Kyle to vote and then just go whichever way was winning?
No.
she said in a very "Are you accusing me?" tone. Richie, our buddy at the Super Media Brothers, was the first one to reply to the tweet. He said from 1984, his favorites are Van Halen 1984, Iron Maiden Powerslave, Rush, Grace Under Pressure, Sammy Hagar VOA, and Prince Purple Rain. From 1991, Van Halen again with For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Metallica with the Black Album, U2 with Hot Tongue Baby, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Well,
you don't like them, Michelle.
Like them. I know.
In my opinion, that's their last good stand. Blood Sugar, and I'm sure I labored that point on the episode when we covered 1991. That for me, that's the last excellent Red Hot Chili Peppers record.
Okay, go on.
Anthony Taylor's version chimed in, of course, and said Van Halen 1984. Culture Club Waking Up with the House on Fire, which I always forget. As big of a Culture Club fan as I am, I always forget that record came out in 84. Metallica Ride the Lightning in 84. Prince Purple Rain, of course. In 91, he listed off Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears, and Garth Brooks with Rope in the Wind. Let's see here. The 80s Movie Podcast. I don't think they've ever interacted with us before, but we got something from them. Another nod for Van Halen 1984, Purple Rain. About Face by David Gilmour, which I don't think anybody brings up in any discussion about big albums or favorite albums from 84. And I'm a huge Pink Floyd guy, and I never think about that either, but that was David Gilmour's second solo record. Let It Be Me by The Replacements, Reckoning from R.E.M., and then in 1991, R.E.M. gets the nod again with Out of Time, 10 by Pearl Jam, Mama Said by Lenny Kravitz, and Woodface by Crowded House. So then we got a couple others here that I want to share, and then we'll get into the actual sales numbers. There was a listener named Ryan Wilson who said for him, it's 1991 is all he shared his favorites with. Nirvana, Nevermind, The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest, Pearl Jam 10, Smashing Pumpkins, Gish, Primus, Sailing the Seas of Cheese, and De La Soul is Dead. And then rounding things out, we had another call out from 1984 by Shane and I on Twitter, and says Iron Maiden, Powerslave, Kiss, Animalized, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, all 3 great records that don't get enough recognition. And then from 1991, they listed off Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, and Metallica, The Black Album. So just from and that's a very small sampling of what we had shared with us on Twitter. And just that alone, the diversity in both years is insane.
I agree.
So,
what was REM was the only one that got mentioned in both years?
No, Van Halen got the nod in both years, as well as Metallica. And then,
so I was just plain wrong.
You were not listening, is what was happening. Yeah. So
that's very surprising.
Yeah, I'm just used to it.
Kyle told me to leave and come back with my, what did you call it?
Your thinking cap?
Yes.
Oh my God. Do you have one, Michelle?
Can you leave and come back with your thinking cap?
Can I get you a late birthday present? Because that's what I got you for your birthday, and it's supposed to be delivered Monday, but now I need to do an exchange and get you something else.
Kyle already got me one. Sorry.
Oh, damn. So here is here's some fact-based stuff that we're going to throw your way, and then we're going to get into the actual discussion down to the nitty-gritty of this year. So this doesn't tell the whole story of each year, but these are the largest selling records of each year. So I'm going to go from 10 to 1 for the top 10 largest selling records of the year. So in 1984, you had Sade, Diamond Life, Tina Turner, Private Dancer, Wham, Make It Big, the Footloose soundtrack, Van Halen 1984, Bryan Adams Reckless, Madonna Like a Virgin, Prince Purple Rain, Bob Marley Legend, and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Born in the USA. So that's your top 10 selling records for 1984. And if you notice, two of those were listed on all of these favorites from people. So that, you know what I mean? Like that to me is why we need to have a discussion about like what sold a lot and what moves people and what influence stuck around.
Right.
In 1991, here are your top 10 selling records. And I feel like all three of us probably bought this one in at number 10, Vanilla Ice to the Extreme. I will fully admit to having owned that record. I don't know if you two did or will, but I did.
I don't think
I outright owned it, but I believe my mother did. So
that counts at that age.
I was thinking today.
Oh God, Michelle, what were you thinking today? Did you have your cap on?
I did. This is when I was driving, so I do wear it when I drive. Does anybody, and I'm not, this is going to sound like I'm an asshole.
We're used to it again.
Okay, so does anybody actually out there in the world, is anybody like, fuck yeah, Ice Ice Baby is my jam. Like I need to go home and blast it, and like I request it on the radio, and like it means
today
so
or
much
then?
to me. Today, like it was on the radio. Like I've heard it like 3 times on the radio this week, and I'm like, who?
It's become like a parody song nowadays.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so like, is it anybody's?
back in the day, it was
jam?
people took it seriously.
Well, yeah, that's 100% fact, Kyle. First of all, yes, people very much did take it seriously back then. But you know what songs do is songs like that, and I feel like certain artists too, like Bee Gees or ABBA, they go through this phase where everyone makes fun of them, and then everybody likes them ironically, you know? And then they circle back around, right? To where like people like here's the thing with Ice Ice Baby. First of all jokes aside about the bass line, right? The whole no, mine's different.
Yeah.
Like, we get that. I don't know who wrote the rhyme schemes in Ice Ice Baby. I know Rob claims that he wrote them, but like 40 other people have claimed that they wrote the rhyme schemes. Those are good rhymes. Like the rhymes in that song are good. So if you take that and you put it against the Queen bass line, you've got a good song, you know? So like, how do I say this? So I wouldn't walk into a bar and be like, can you please play my all-time favorite song in the history of mankind? You know, Ice Ice Baby. But if it came on, I wouldn't be like, this shit. You know, like I would be like, fuck yeah. Like, I mean, the rhyme schemes are good in that song.
No, and I agree. I just was like, is this song somebody's like ultimate jam? Like, is this somebody's like, I don't know.
I do people take the song seriously is what I think you mean to say. Even if I'm on an island about this, yep. Yep, at least one person you know does.
Okay. I like I said, I wasn't trying to be an asshole, but I was just
I get it. I totally understand what you mean. It's like the only way I can equate this, and I realize this is two totally different institutions in music, is like when I was a kid in like 87, 88, when people listened to Staying Alive, they did it ironically. Like they were like, oh yeah, fucking disco. And now when people put on Staying Alive, they're like, that's the goddamn jam. You know, so I feel like Ice Ice Baby, you know what I mean? I feel like Ice Ice Baby is like crossing into that threshold where like people forget all the crap that came with it. And they're just like, oh yeah, that's a good song.
I think for me, it would be like in the same category as like Mambo No. 5, whereas that is more of like a time in my life. you know?
Yeah.
It's more like nostalgia for me, but I would absolutely 100% put that on a jukebox at the bar, and I'm pretty sure I have before. Like I
Mambo
would
number
come
5?
home. Oh, yeah.
Lauren and I were just sitting around the other day discussing, we were at a brewery and the song was playing, and we were discussing why no one ever is concerned with what happened to Mambos 1 through 4. So,
well, that's none of your business.
That's not what it says in the song. Moving on to number 9, we've got through one of the top 10 selling albums of 1991.
You're so close.
Michelle, please feel free to stop me at every step of this way.
You told me in the beginning.
I know.
Feel free to make comments along the way, and I am.
You are. Out of Time by REM comes in at number 9. Not Pearl Jam, but REM.
Yield?
Yes. Yeah, Pearl Jam's Yield, which came out 4 years later. Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2 is next. CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Now, there's another one that I think went through that phase where it was super cool when it came out. Then no one wanted to listen to it, and now you hear that song regularly.
Accurate.
And I think what led to the popular, like it being more popular, was like jock jams and shit back in the day.
For sure.
I fucking
So
love
like
Jock Jams.
that kept all of their music alive, and all the music that is like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is Metallica's The Black Album. The album right after it is almost the same exact album. Michael Bolton, Time, Love, and Tenderness. Yeah, I mean, it's almost the same album as Metallica's Black Album. Natalie Cole, Unforgettable, which I know we did discuss on the 1991 episode, but I'm surprised that it sold as many copies as it did. In at number 3 is Garth Brooks' No Fences, which is interesting because that album did not come out in 1991.
I'm sorry, what?
No Fences didn't come out in 91, but it sold so many copies that it was still in the top 10 largest selling records of 1991.
That's crazy.
Well, it's the one with Friends in Low Places. So.
Oh, okay.
And then Mariah Carey's self-titled debut was number 2, and then number 1 for the year, Garth Brooks with his second entry into the top 10 largest selling records of 1991, and his album, which was released in 1991, Rope in the Wind.
Is that the one that we listened to? No, we listened to Fences, but the.
Right, for the album tournament, which was how many years ago was that, Michelle?
1 million.
It was 1 million, okay. But go ahead.
Oh, nothing, go.
Okay. So, Kyle, the thing I want to bring up to you before we get into our personal favorites for the year and all that, isn't it astounding the difference between what sold like wildfire those years and the diversity in sending out one tweet and saying, what are some of your favorites, and what we got back? Like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Sade, like all these things were listed off. We got people, I'm going on ones I didn't read now, but there was a ton of votes for Dangerous by MJ and more votes for Nirvana. Like, don't you think it's crazy the difference between what sold so much and what's endured?
Yeah. I think it's just people back then were allowed to be more selective. They didn't have a bunch of shit being shoved in their face constantly.
Yep.
So they were able to choose what they wanted to listen to. That's what they listened to. Beyond what was on the radio, they didn't have Spotify and all this shit that recommends all this stuff to you.
Or they also didn't have a place to just go ask Michelle. So now because of technology, they do. So we're going to go through this. We've got a couple of different ways that I want to discuss this. And these are going to be ones that we're just going to have to put our name on each one of these questions. And then we'll get to which years are personal favorites. We'll start with Michelle because I get in trouble when I don't. What year had more of your personal favorite music artists between the 2 years, Michelle?
Oh, that's a hard one. Like in general or out of the top 10s that you read?
In general. You know what I should have done? I should have given you these questions a whole day before this. That's what I should.
Okay.
That's what I should have done. Is given you these questions a full day before we're recording right now, so you could have. So you could have.
Isn't that answering the question then?
No. Which one had more of your person? I promise you, there's more to this discussion. If you want to refer to the message that I sent you with these questions, there's more to this discussion. So for you personally, which year had more music that you like more?
I think this is why we don't start with you.
Yeah, very good. A very astute observation, Kyle. Thank you for getting my back on that. This is why we don't start with you.
I think 1984, when it's when you're right up in it, it doesn't seem like it would be my jams, but I just think that the entire vibe, does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
It's not like I am not necessarily a grunge type person, which is what I generally get out of 91, although it doesn't really sound like it from the top 10s, but that's what I come away with from 1991 is the grungy stuff, and that's not really my vibe. And so 84 is definitely, as a whole, the artists I think.
Right.
In 84.
And we're going to get into that more. And I promise you these were in the questions. We're going to get into that more later about like what the legacy is of each year. No, yeah. I'm complimenting you that you're leading us that way, because the legacy for both of these years, I feel, is far different than what the top 10 selling records were for each year. So Kyle, what was your, between the two, which one had more music that is, endures itself to you?
91, hands down.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mean to pigeonhole
Nirvana,
you, but
Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Garth Brooks, Metallica. That's all up my alley.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that too. Michael Bolton.
Right.
I knew it.
So yeah, Michael Bolton. Well, again, if he toured with Metallica.
Who doesn't love a good tender mullet?
Oh my God, his cover photo for that album is awful.
Yeah. So for me, you would think that I would immediately default to 1984, but I am more of a metal and grunge guy, and metal and grunge and that stuff was so huge for me in 91. Like, it was every 2 seconds I was getting turned on to a new, harder rock band. And don't get me wrong, like I say, I loved Vanilla Ice back then. I loved that CNC Music Factory, the full album, REM, the Chili Peppers, like everything that was coming out. But for me, the year that has more of my personal favorites from it, I was already a U2 fan, but Achtung Baby is so bonkers good and so different from what they had done before that it just made me a much bigger fan of them. Whereas if you look at their effort in 84, The Unforgettable Fire, it didn't move me in that same way. I love Van Halen 1984. The record's monster. It's Hot for Teacher. It's Jump, Panama, all that shit's on there. But for me, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge has Run Around and Right Now and Pound Cake. I got to see Van Halen on that tour for the first time. So, you know what I mean? It's like all those things together mean that year had more of my personal favorite music in it. The next question that I wanted to talk about, and Michelle kind of led us here, but I'm going to start with Kyle. I'm going to be a bad boy and start with Kyle on this. Which year had the longer lasting artists? Like, who do you think of the 2 years? Because when you're talking about Van Halen was in both, REM was in both, U2 was in both, but there's a lot of artists who, like, for example, one of the largest selling records of 84 was the Footloose soundtrack, which was made up by and large of people we would never hear from again. Bryan Adams' career really cooled down after that year. Springsteen went in a whole different direction after that year. So for the 2 years, Kyle, like, which of the 2 years do you think had artists who had longer impact, or like a longer, not impact, but longer lasting artists of the 2 years?
I think 91. Garth Brooks is still kicking now. Metallica is still kicking now. Vanilla Ice is building houses now, but
yeah, but still kicking.
He's still kicking. Mariah Carey is trying to kick, and she's not doing so well.
Yeah.
But I think, even if you go back to Nirvana, like, that record had such a huge impact that, like, it's still a go-to record for people today, even though the band doesn't exist anymore.
See, okay, so there's something you're touching on that I feel is big in favor of 1991 as far as the longer lasting artist, and you're kind of leading us into the next point too, of like which year had the bigger impact. But with people like Prince, you can still hear echoes of Prince in, Silk Sonic and, same artist, but Bruno Mars and Leon Bridges and a lot of newer artists that do R&B and funk and whatnot. But, Van Halen hasn't really, and they were involved in both years, but their influence kind of ran out after a long time, but it's kind of gone now. So between the two, I feel like you still have more artists from 91 who have a longer lasting career than what you had in 84. I'm kind of getting around to saying the same thing you said.
Yeah.
Michelle, sorry for the wait. What of the 2 years, which one do you think had the longer lasting artists?
I agree. I think it's 91, but I think that possibly I liked the vibe of 84 is because there are all those like one hit wonders, and like that's kind of, I feel like I'm very much.
It fits your attention span.
It does, but even though I'm like, I'm not young anymore. I'm in that TikTok,
That is true.
that online all the time watching reels and TikToks, and there's all these one-hit wonders that are like that you'll never hear from again, and that's just kind of, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah.
I do I enjoy it, and not that I want them to be one-hit wonders. That's just kind of what happens, and I think that's the exact thing that happened. Not the exact. I think there's a lot of that in 1984 that I love.
Does it make you feel better when the current artists are people that everyone else goes, oh, I don't remember who that was, or the name of the song? Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
When everyone else is like you?
Yes, I feel like I'm amongst my own people.
Right. Michelle, who had a text argument with me last night because she remembered Carlos Santana in something and then had the nerve to defend the fact that she remembers things. And I said that is untrue.
No, I said I know guitar players.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kyle, you know how hard you're laughing. That's how hard I laughed last night. And then I said the woman who doesn't know, Jimmy Page or Joe Perry. And Michelle, what was your reply?
Tomato.
Your reply was tomato. So which year do you guys think had the bigger impact on the future of music, though? Not just like the artists are still around, but do you think that the sounds of 84 lasted for any large amount of time, or is this another category that 91 takes? And I do think that there's a strong argument to be made for both. If you were to go just on the strength of Purple Rain or Madonna's pop music, you have a ton of pop music today that would not exist without what Madonna was making big then and Prince made big then. Like just on the strength of those two artists alone. And it's debatable for me for 91. You could say, yeah, there's still shades of grunge around and there's still shades of metal around, but I don't think that those things were a result of that year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that year was responsible for those things moving on, where I feel like 1984 brought a lot more innovation to things that had a bigger impact on the future of music than 91 did. I feel like Michelle's going to ask me to repeat the question because she didn't understand it. But, well, of the 2 years, Michelle, which one do you think had a bigger impact on the future of music?
I think that can I say both?
You cannot. This whole episode is a yeah.
You missed the most important part. Which one?
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Kyle.
Well, so I think that 1984 had a different impact on like pop music than 1991 had a bigger impact on metal and grunge, and I feel like they were both monumental in their own accords, but I don't necessarily think that. I think that they were both instrumental in bringing us to where we are today in music, but I don't think that one was more important than the other. So I really don't have an answer for that question.
You have to, and I will.
84.
What's that? Oh, what'd you say?
84.
Oh, I swear to God, I thought you said I'd take the fourth, and I was going to be like, that's not even the right.
That's not even the right amendment.
Yeah. Like, first of all, it's plead, and second of all, it's fifth. So wait, you're going with 84. Why did your brain jump right to 84 then?
Because that's just what
That's where her people are at.
Where people are at, and like that's just where I am with the music that I listen to. I feel like it has had a more larger impact for me personally.
From 84 caused what you listen to now to happen, is what you're saying.
I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe. But I feel like if I was listening to like more metal or more grunge music, or I don't even know what else it could have spawned from 1991, then I would think the opposite.
Yeah,
so.
but this is your personal opinion, though. So
Michelle's Vibe Tribe was in 1984.
That's true.
I love my Vibe Tribe.
Kyle, which one do you think? Now, again, this isn't just you personally. Like, which one do you think had the longer lasting impact on music itself?
I'm still going to go with 91. And I think that if Van Halen wasn't in both of them, I wouldn't have chosen 1991. Mm-hmm. But because Van Halen had such a huge impact on, if you ask any fucking guitar player from any band, in any genre, probably, they're going to tell you that Eddie Van Halen was a huge influence on them.
Yeah, reason why they picked it up, yeah.
Now, then you can go to Garth Brooks. Country music would not be, even though country music today is garbage, it wouldn't be what it is without Garth Brooks.
Right. It wouldn't be remotely in the public eye as much as it is without
right.
him. Yeah.
He was like, aside from like not being like a rebel or like, you know, like Dolly Parton or something, he is like the one country like ultra superstar.
No,
he crossed he did all sorts of different kinds of country, which enabled him to like spread his listenership out abroad to everybody. Because I mean, he does like pop country, he does like Dolly Parton style country, and then like, you know, he is able to do so many different styles of the one kind of music that he makes. He just influenced the entire genre as a whole.
Right. And I always joke, oh, well, I'm a little older, but like when 91 happened, the thing with Garth, and this speaks to your point, Kyle, about the diversity and the way he was able to branch out. I knew friends of mine who Rope in the Wind was like the one common denominator in their car. Like I had friends of mine who only listened to like De La Soul, and they were still listening to PE and Tribe Called Quest, and they also had Rope in the Wind. And then I knew friends of mine who only listened to Use Your Illusion and the Black Album, and they also had Rope in the Wind. It was like the one common denominator. But, you know, whereas like some of my friends who listened to rap would listen to maybe Guns N' Roses, but the people that were into grunge wouldn't touch GNR with a 10-foot pole, but they'd listen to Garth. You know, so like that exactly your point, you know, and then like you said, it's taken a downward turn since then, but he is responsible for country being anywhere near the spotlight it's in.
Yeah, he like launched before him. It was like, you know, people down south listened to whatever artist they liked, and, you know, whatever. But he like launched country music into like the main stratosphere of like everyone wanting to listen to it.
Yeah, well, everyone but Michelle.
And like you can even say that you don't even like country. Like Michelle says she doesn't like country, but people who don't like country like Garth Brooks.
Yep.
So it's
I totally agree.
And if you want to go further than that, we talked about Nirvana. That, like, I mean, their hype is kind of like it's exhausted now. But like, you cannot have a conversation about music back then, or even, you know, years later, without them being brought up somewhere.
Yeah, I get that. So one thing I want to mention before we go to our very last question, and Michelle, get prepared, because this is where we're going to have to make our personal picks as to what year's our favorite and why. If anyone, like I say, if you're new to the program or newer to the program and you think, how on earth can they be, you know, covering these two massive years in this one episode? Well, that's because we are not. We have a 2-part episode that we did on all of the releases of 91. So if you are listening to this and you're a huge fan of 91 and you cannot believe that we left off this, that, or the other artist, we did 2 full episodes covering all of the major releases of 1991. And then we went back a couple of months later and did 2 full episodes on all of the music from 1984 as well. So for anybody who is newer to the program, you know, this is not something we don't usually gloss over, this type of thing. This is very much a reactive episode that we were asked to do after we did those 2 massive in-depth dives into these 2 years. And then basically all of the listeners said, well, hey, now you guys got to decide which year is better. So that's why this topic is the way it is. It's more of a gloss over of the 2 years and the deeper discussion points of, you know, the impact and the longevity of each artist and so on. So, having said that, the focus of the matter is which of the 2 years is each one of our personal favorite years in music and why. I don't know who I went first to last time, so Kyle, I will put you on the hot seat. I believe I know which one is going to be your personal favorite, but tell us which one and why.
91. Literally, I was just thinking about this as you were, and I literally think that you could throw me a couple Garth Brooks records and throw me a couple Metallica records, and I could live on an island just listening to those 2 artists.
Yeah, I hear
like
that.
That's I enjoy both of them so much that I like that's what takes the cake for me, is the amount of Garth Brooks and Metallica that was involved.
Like, no matter how long or short someone's career was or whatever has happened with any music genre, like those 2 artists and what they released that year alone is worth like giving the nod to 91 for you. Is what you're saying.
You already know how I feel about the Black Album.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I get that. You know, it's like you said about Nirvana. It's like the Black Album has had all the praise in the world heaped on it. And when people say that, when people say, oh, that's overrated or whatever, it's like, no, it doesn't make it any less better because so many people talk about it. It means it's that good.
Yeah, I mean, then you could sprinkle in Nirvana Pearl Jam. They had fucking monster records that came out that year that are fantastic and are still fantastic today.
Yeah, absolutely. I will go next and let Michelle go last. And as I'm saying this sentence right now, I truly haven't decided.
Make sure you put your thinking cap on, Michelle.
It's already on.
Yeah, it's already on. Sweet.
Okay.
Well, I hope the battery doesn't die on it while I'm talking.
Well, the light's blinking.
So for me, here's the thing: is I totally fall into everything Michelle said about 84. Like, I like all of the one-hit wonders that we had in 84. And then the massive records that came out from the artists that I love, like, Purple Rain is massive. Like a Virgin is one of my favorite Madonna records out of the huge long career that she's had. I'm a huge George Michael fan. So the Wham album, Make It Big, is huge for me. I mean, there's just so much about that year that I love. And it was such an exciting time for me as a music fan. But then everything you said about 91, I don't want to relitigate the whole thing, but everything you said about 91 Kyle, absolutely comes into play. So for me, it's a really, really, really hard decision between the 2 years. Geez, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards 91. I guess I'm going to lock in 91, as they say on the game shows. And for me, the biggest reason why I'm going to go with 91 is...
is that your final answer?
It is my final answer.
I
locked it in, Kyle.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's because of, for me, there was more diversity that I was aware of in 91 as it was happening. Plus a lot of personal memories go into 91 for me. Having seen GNR several times, the build up and the wait and the release of Use Your Illusion, the Black Album, seeing Metallica, seeing Skid Row, there's so many big things. And I feel like maybe if I was old enough to go to concerts in 84, it could even swing it that way. So anyways, locked in. I'm going to lean towards 91. So that's 2 for 91 so far. Michelle, tell us why you disagree.
Well, it doesn't even matter now. You guys win.
No, it's not. God damn it. This is not a win situation. This is believe Michelle, I've said this to you so many times in our personal life, and I'm saying it to you again on the show. Trust me, no one wins in this situation.
Michelle's going to pack up her fucking thinking cap and going home.
Just going to unplug it.
84 is my vibe, man.
I get it.
It's for me, and it's not even like the top 10 albums that came out that year are not even like where I'm at.
Right.
It's the one-hit wonders, and it's so fun. And I never, until we pit 91 against 84, if you had asked me which decade I liked more, hands down the 90s. But these 2 years, the 84 has just got my heart, man. Just for shits and giggles, on one way to work, I put on a 91 playlist, and on the way home, I put on an 84. I could not wait to get to work and get the 91 playlist over with. I was like, this is not, I don't know, maybe it's just because I didn't finish my coffee yet, and I was just cranky, and on my way to work, home from work, it was sunny, and I was all like bopping along to the 84, but I did not.
The entire time you were like, sorry, I'm a Pearl Jam, I can't figure it out.
Yep, and then I started rear-ending people, and I on paper, I like a lot more of the top 10 records that came out in 91, but the entire vibe of 84 is where I'm at. Right. That's where my heart is at.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. And I feel like, at least for me, the big thing that swings it is like all the shows and the memories and everything from 91 is really what swings it for me. Like if listeners hadn't asked for this episode, I would have never ever entertained the discussion of these 2 years against each other anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you do it for them.
We do it for them. Yes. Well, I guess I do
for the culture.
Yes.
Yes, that's what you said. You do it and I'm here.
That's correct. Actually, I can't look it up now, but we did have a tweet today from somebody that was like, wow, this is going to be an awesome discussion, in-depth points on all parts, and Michelle will be there too. I'm paraphrasing, but it was that tweet that led to the Michelle's awesome, Michelle's great debacle. So
I feel like they're using it sarcastically now.
Right.
I will say, Russ, that you mentioned all the shows and stuff that you've been to and whatnot, but like I that does absolutely go into the 91 thing with me, but Garth Brooks happened much later, a show for me. And that, like, I felt like I was seeing him 20 years ago.
Right. Yep.
Like that motherfucker is such a superstar that, like, I felt like I was, back in 1991 when he released those records, and it was amazing.
Michelle finds Garth Brooks concerts to be super exciting.
Yes.
That's good nap time.
So there you have it. Our listeners requested to hear our discussion on 1991 versus 1984.
91 wins.
And 94. There is no winner. Those were our opinions, and we would love to hear everyone else's opinions and tell us what you think. And again, there will be no winner. There will be no tallying of votes. There will just be everyone's opinion on which year they like the most. 1991.
But everyone tell me why I'm right and they're wrong.
Right.
Opinions are like assholes, and we know you got one.
Right. So here is the big news of the episode that I teased last week, is that we now have a new series of episodes that we're going to be bringing your way. Now, what the show has done previously has always been, for the last couple of years, has been a open discussion topic for one episode, and then we'll follow it with an album review, and we rotate through the three of us, and the listeners get to pick albums as well. So that's been every other episode. We're going to throw a third thing in the mix now, and that will debut as next week's topic. And what we're going to start doing is cover battles. So I threw together a big, huge list of covers that are very, very famous. And some maybe are bigger in some countries than others, like where the cover is bigger or whatever else. But what we're going to do is take two songs every week, the original and the cover, and do this type of same discussion. Michelle, just so you know ahead of time, you are going to have to pick between the two and say which one is it.
Will there be a clear winner and a clear loser?
Yes, we can do that for you. We will say who majority is going to rule on the cover battles. Is that agreeable?
That's what I wanted.
Okay, so as I always do, sometime during the week next week, I will announce what the cover battle is going to be for next week, and we have a huge list that we're going to work through. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And so you will still have album reviews. Basically, if you're hearing like our general topic episode now, next thing will be a cover battle, then we'll have an album review, and so on. So hopefully everyone likes that new segment the new topic, because I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
It's too fucking bad if you don't.
So pleasant. So pleasant. Like we always say about this time, without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Bye.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.